Welcome back to the TNP project. You know, hell or high water, I'm going to finish this movie, even if I only get 5 viewers at the end of the day. So Spock did his mind meld. He got booted back to the ship, and now he's reflecting on his experience because it was a stupid thing to do. But this is key. This is key stuff that a lot of the fiction, not fan fiction, but the novels and whatnot. I know this movie gets ignored because it's kind of painful to sit through. The acting isn't that great. It's slow. It's a movie you sleep through. I've already said this over and over. Watch all my other videos if you haven't seen them already. But this is a key moment where Spock becomes more human than he's ever been. It's because he was finally confronted not with a Kolinar, which was going to purge all logic, or not all logic, purge all emotion from him, but he goes to the most emotionalist thing out there, the V'ger probe, and realizes that what V'ger is missing is what Spock has always denied himself. And so, and in turn, most Vulcans have denied themselves. So as we see the Vulcan mythos, change with each movie, with each series, it gets more complex as we go, as we explore Vulcans, the people, we realize kind of how irrational it is just to live by logic alone. And it also makes Vulcans difficult to write. I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm just reminded of the Lower Decks episode where they were exploring the lower decks of the Vulcan ship, and I think I liked how we explored Vulcans in Enterprise because we could, and especially I'm never over it. The Vulcan trilogy in the fourth season brings a lot together. So let's backtrack though. This is about Spock. This is about that simple feeling of touch, and this is where the character changes. Okay, I've already said as much. Let's see what the card expresses here. Spock is brought back. He laughs. He should have known this simple feeling is beyond V'ger's comprehension. No meaning, no hope. For all its knowledge, V'ger is barren and cold. It's asking questions about its sentience, but we can find no answers. And there was and this scene continues in this card here, although it's not Spock's fight for his life, but this is where the simple touch takes place, so a nice beat with the old-fashioned cards. But a line here has always brought to me, is this all that I am? Is there nothing more? Which would be easy for viewers to dismiss, but there's a whole lot there. If we talk about Trek and philosophy, there's a lot going on in this movie that, might have been taken from another script, or seems hack, or seems like this has all been done before. But this movie, in its seriousness, and I don't like Patton Oswalt gripes about how angry and serious everybody is in the movie, but by taking something like this seriously, it's not nomad. It's not cartoonish. All right. It's looking at this as it is. And when you see Nimoy's contribution to what to do for the end of this movie, this is what's going on right here. All right. So we don't have the memory wall any longer. We have Nimoy and Shatner giving their feedback about how the rest of the script's going to go. And I may be wrong, I totally could be because I'm just thinking out loud. But I think this is Nimoy's contribution to the character. Moving from stoic Spock, emotionalist Spock in conflict, to finally, here's the catalyst that gets Spock to embrace everything he is. Human, Vulcan, otherwise. There's no point to denying things. And so this kind of cements in Spock's personality as we go along. Now, he's still a Vulcan. He's still not going to be overtly emotional, right? But you see it totally in Star Trek 6. Where you have Nimoy bring the sense of humor to the character. A little bit Star Trek 4, but that's the transitional because he just got, his mojo back and all that. But this is a good scene for me. Is this all that there is? Is there nothing more? And later on, at the end of the movie, we see McCoy do the line, what more is there but the universe? And then we expand our consciousness. We go beyond it. This is Trek. This is like fundamental, foundational philosophy of what can be interpreted through Trek. And a lot of things can. And we can argue that if, how Roddenberry might have got a big head after doing the college circuit and people projected too much of what they wanted in a utopian world on this 80 episode series that was kind of goofy and cheeseball. But the movie, the first Star Trek movie, attempts to work that in and make it real. And that's why it's serious. That's why it has to be serious. A lot. And you can have all varieties of Trek, but this is where we see the change, and it gets us to think about what more is there. And unlike Nomad, unlike the other probes, this V'ger is seeking. Learn all that is learnable. But you can only learn so much before you understand what knowledge is and the simplicity of what you can or cannot comprehend, and that brings back in the feel. That brings the feelings back. And that's where we see that's what we see here in this scene. I think this is a key scene to a lot of Trek that's come after it, or at least in the progression of Spock as a character. And that's why I love this movie. All right,